boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. Who remembers that famous line from little Mikey, I'm gonna call him, I don't remember that was his fucking name, but from Kindergarten Cop. I'll never forget hearing that and thinking, oh, that's so cute, and it's so true, and it's so simple. Men equals masculine, women equals feminine. Totally, right? Clearly that's the case. Oh, it goes so much deeper. My experience in masculine and feminine energies, my understanding of it, it's interesting. The rabbit hole goes deep. A past version of myself, the old Ohio boy growing up in a small Midwest town. Men were men. We drink beer, we eat pizza, we watch football, we wrestle around. We're logical, we're rational, A leads to B leads to C. We don't show our emotions, we're not vulnerable. Because vulnerability is for pussies. What are you, a faggot? Yeah, I said that. That's what people used to say to me. That's what I used to say to my friends. That's the way men used to relate when I was growing up. And then there's women. Oh, hey, let's play with Barbies. Let's be stay-at-home moms and take care of the kids. Emotional, irrational. Can't live with them, can't live without them. I've found that we all have masculine, feminine energies within us. It's a spectrum. There's extreme masculine, there's extreme feminine, and there's everything in between. And while yes, you can generally say that men operate from a masculine default energy and women operate from a feminine default energy, it's not always the case. And every situation and circumstance might call for those different energies. That's where this concept of polarity comes into play, which at a baseline, a foundational level, is strong attraction or strong repulsion. And once I used to feel these things around feminine, masculine energy, I used to I remember, I'm gonna tell you a story about an ex-girlfriend. Actually, it's not even a story, it's just a general thing I experienced. She would oftentimes cry. And when nothing was seemingly wrong, she would just cry. I didn't know if she was happy or sad. I assumed she was sad because you cry when you're sad, right? And me, being in my rational, logical brain, would try and fix it. Why are you crying? What can I do? Stop crying. How can I help? And it just made it worse. It didn't help. And I continually tried to do it though. Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Yeah, that was me. And I didn't get it. Why can't I make this work? And she would tell me how she felt, like she was sad, and I would try and pick it apart logically. Well, why are you sad? Or what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And then, as I started getting into these worlds, I started to realize, oh, it's not about fixing it. It's not about the A leads to B leads to C, the logical, rational. It's not about that. It's about just being present, holding space. Because holding space is a really, really, really valuable quality. According to Good Energy Guru chiming in here. Masculine feminine energies really, really touchy subject. And it is. And it's fun though. It's such a fun thing to explore. Once I was able to identify this concept and this framework for relating to men and women, it's made life so much more enjoyable. It's much easier to understand. It's more fun, comfortable. And as I've embraced that, I've looked at different situations and said, okay, what is going on here? This person I'm relating with, what energy are they operating in? And how can I meet them where they're at and support them in that energy? And so I'm going to give another story, and I'll leave it at this. An ex-girlfriend of mine, my brother and Kevin and I were having a meeting, and she came in to provide some feedback or something, and I assertively said, hey, we're in the middle of a meeting. Please respect that. I'll talk to you soon. She didn't like that so much. She took it a little bit personally, which is one of the agreements I implore you to consider, that nothing's personal. Side note. And so she kind of stormed off, as the feminine energy can do. Sometimes it's a bit of a storm. It's ever-changing. It's the seasons. It's feeling. It's unconscious to an extent, whereas the masculine is more non-changing, constant, conscious. Like I said, rational, A leads to B leads to C. So anyways, after the meeting was over, it was time to talk about this situation. And so as I approached her, I thought about all the times in the past where I had come in to these kinds of situations defensive, wanting to fix, wanting to be right, wanting to prove them wrong. Because I'm always right? I have a mal on. That means I'm always right because I'm spiritual AF. No, not right. Not a good strategy. Has not worked for me most times. And so going into this, being in this world, a lot of the work that I find myself in is inspired by David Data, the way of the superior man. And once I was aware of these concepts and this framework, I went into this situation and be like, no, okay, I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is stand in my power, hold space, as they say, be kind, be present. Don't try and fix anything. Don't try and rationalize. Don't try and talk. There's too much fucking talk therapy in the world. So as I went in there and the storm was a storming, crying, a little bit of yelling, lots of emotions involved, I just stood there. Let her go. Let the storm go. I stood in the eye of it. Received it, felt the sensations, the voices telling me, oh no, fuck that, you're wrong. Ooh, I'll get you on that. All those things going on in my head, just allowed them to run through me, just to pass through and to just brush off. Not resisting them, but just witnessing them and letting them float away. And after about a couple minutes of this, I continue to just look her in the eyes with deep compassion and a heart of wanting to understand and feel her. Not to pick apart the pieces of what she was saying, but just to feel where her heart was. And where it was, she was just hurt. She was feeling like she wanted to help, and I brushed her off. And so instead of doing the whole, you're right, I'm wrong, blah, 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 back and forth, it doesn't get me anywhere, I just stood there. And after a couple minutes, she stopped. She held my gaze, and we eye gazed for probably a couple minutes. Whoa, you want to try a powerful practice with anybody, but in particular your partner? Just to hold an eye gaze. Look at the left eye in particular. It's a receptive feminine eye. Stoic. Don't embrace the awkwardness. Man, the degree to which I can embrace awkwardness is like, and that fun comfortability with it, the world gets fun. My world gets real fun. So stood there for about 2 minutes and finally a smile started to emerge on both of our faces. And before we knew it, we were cracking up. Just like hysterically laughing. And all of the nonsense, the stories, the you did this, you did that, just disappeared. And it was nothing but love. And then we made love, and it was some fucking passionate, beautiful love. So I tell you that story to encourage you to consider that maybe we're more complex creatures than men have a penis and women have a vagina. Men equals masculine, women equals feminine. Feel into that. There's resources, including myself. There's books, and it is like my world is so much more enriched when I've considered this. So from Austin, Texas, that's what I got for you. I'm gonna get back to grounding camp here with Elliot Hulse, where we're getting into the body, into the heart, tapping into those sensations, getting rid of the stories and the mind, not allowing it to be the master, but a servant to serve me and my higher purpose. So I'm gonna get back there. Peace, I'm out.